So friends, today I'm going to explain the movie Godzilla x Kong, the new empire, released this year. In this movie, we see a new empire where Godzilla and Kong team up to save the world. But who do they fight against? Let's find out. The movie begins, and we are shown Godzilla, who, after defeating Mechagodzilla, has created his new home in Hollow Earth. He's looking for his family while being chased by massive titans living there, which look like wolves. Now Kong, while escaping them, sees that his path has ended. But the titans don't know that Kong has set a trap here. As soon as one titan leaps at Kong, it gets caught in the trap. After this, all the titans are crushed under falling rocks one by one. However, a few are still alive and advancing toward Kong. Furious, Kong picks up a titan and tears it apart in the middle. Seeing this, the rest of the titans flee in fear. After this, Kong returns to his cave, where he hears the sound of an ape screaming. Since Kong was the only titan of his species, he thinks that perhaps someone from his family is still alive. He follows the sound but finds that the screaming ape is a giant frog. Seeing this, he feels sad and, due to the pain in his teeth, sits down. On Earth, we see Eileen, who is taking care of all the titans in Hollow Earth and Monarch. On the other hand, Godzilla has maintained balance between humanity and other massive titans. After defeating a titan named Scylla in Rome, Godzilla goes to rest in his Colosseum. Meanwhile, a large signal is detected at a Monarch inspection post inside Hollow Earth. An employee informs Dr. Eileen about the signal. Elsewhere, we see Jia in school, the last surviving member of the Iwi tribe, adopted by Dr. Eileen. Jia starts having visions of the same place from where the signal originated. She draws these visions on paper, which the teacher shows to Dr. Eileen. Since Jia is having the same visions repeatedly, she tells Dr. Eileen that she needs to talk to Kong, as she's the only one who can control him. Dr. Eileen meets her friend Brian, who is skilled at decoding signals. She asks him about the detected signal. Brian says that this signal hasn't been sent by a titan, but by humans. Just then, Dr. Eileen gets a notification from Monarch that Godzilla has awakened after a year. Since Godzilla also receives signals, he leaves Rome and attacks a nuclear plant in France to absorb its radiation. These people understand that Godzilla is preparing for some upcoming danger. Meanwhile, Kong exits Hollow Earth through a portal to Earth due to his toothache. Kong tells Jia and Dr. Eileen about the pain in his tooth. To fix Kong's tooth, Dr. Eileen calls a man named Trapper, who was her ex-boyfriend. Trapper pulls Kong's tooth and replaces it with a new silver tooth. Jia starts talking to Kong. Meanwhile, Brian comes to Dr. Eileen and tells her that the signal was sent by humans who seem to need help against an upcoming threat. Dr. Eileen forms a team to investigate, which includes Trapper and a pilot named Mike. Although Brian also insists on joining, Dr. Eileen reluctantly includes him. The team travels through the portal with Kong to Hollow Earth. Monarch continues tracking Godzilla, who absorbs radiation while being attacked by fighter planes, making him stronger. The team reaches a destroyed Monarch base in Hollow Earth. Trapper and Dr. Eileen realize that this destruction wasn't caused by Kong, but by some other dangerous titan. Meanwhile, Kong reaches his cave, where he receives signals from the other side of a waterfall. Using his axe, he crosses the waterfall and reaches a new place where he sees a shadow bigger than himself, which turns out to be a small monkey named Suko. Kong tries to befriend Suko, but Suko is aligned with some dangerous monkeys. These monkeys attack Kong, but he is strong enough to kill them quickly. Kong catches Suko and asks him to take him to his territory. Dr. Eileen tracks the signals, leading the group to an ancient temple where they discover a mark of the ancient Titan Mothra, who is the queen of all titans. Jia activates a mechanism in the temple that releases water, guiding them to a special place and ultimately to another world. Meanwhile, Suko takes Kong to a lake inhabited by a giant titan. Suko had brought Kong here to get him killed, but Suko had no idea of Kong's strength. When the titan emerges and attacks Kong, Suko flees. After a while, Kong defeats the titan and throws its severed head and axe near Suko, surprising him. Kong then eats the titan's flesh with Suko before continuing their journey. Elsewhere, Godzilla absorbs the power of a pink dragon titan. Back in the forest, the team is captured by tribal people, but is released when one of the women recognizes Jia as part of their clan. They are taken to the tribe's leader, who telepathically reads Jia's mind and understands that the group means no harm. Jia and the tribal people belong to the same clan. Meanwhile, Zuko and Kong reach a place with the skeleton of a mega titan, whose massive size dwarfs Kong. They pass through volcanic terrain, reaching Zuko's domain, where Kong faces Scar King, the ruler of the territory. Scar King uses the enslaved apes in his territory for his work. Kong sees Scar King attacking an old ape, so he kills Scar King's henchman and saves the old ape. Seeing this, all the other apes are astonished by Kong's strength. Just then, Scar King himself appears. He wears a belt made of bones, signifying his dominance. Scar King kicks Zuko's father into a lava pit, and Zuko becomes devastated. Enraged, Kong confronts Scar King. Scar King fights Kong and injures his arm with his bone belt. A fierce battle ensues between the two. When Scar King realizes he cannot defeat Kong, he activates a crystal on his belt to awaken and control Shimo, an ice titan he has imprisoned. Using the crystal, Scar King inflicts pain on Shimo to command him. Shimo attacks Kong with his ice powers, freezing one of Kong's arms and rendering it useless. Seeing this, Zuko helps Kong escape through a hidden pathway. Meanwhile, Dr. Eileen learns about Shimo's immense power and warns that if Kong has to face both Scar King and Shimo together, he could be killed. The group discovers another mark of Mothra, the Queen Titan, symbolizing her significance in controlling the balance. Meanwhile, Zuko leads Kong to safety, but they are pursued by Scar King's henchmen. Kong sets traps to kill many of them, but some escape and report back to Scar King. Zuko drops rocks to save Kong, who is now heavily injured. Zuko helps Kong move forward, but an ape secretly watches them. On the other side, Godzilla absorbs the power of the pink dragon titan, becoming even stronger. Dr. Eileen and Trapper discuss that Jia might be better off living with her people. At the same time, the tribe opens a portal to a hidden realm where Kong and Zuko enter. The ape spying on them reports the portal's location to Scar King. Inside the hidden realm, Kong collapses from his injuries but recovers and tells everyone about his battle with Scar King. The tribe leader orders the portal to be closed to protect them, but Scar King learns of it and prepares to attack with Shimo and his entire army. Meanwhile, Trapper equips Kong with a prosthetic arm, enhancing his strength and injecting energy liquid into his body. Now Kong feels stronger and ready to fight Scar King. Zuko informs Kong that Scar King is approaching with Shimo and an army. Kong and Zuko decide to seek Godzilla's help. Traveling through a portal, they arrive in Egypt near the pyramids. Godzilla senses Kong's arrival and comes to meet him. However, Godzilla attacks Kong, misunderstanding his intentions. After a brief fight, Mothra arrives and intervenes, explaining the danger from Scar King and Shimo. Together, they convince Godzilla to join forces with Kong. Back in the temple, the tribe performs a ritual to revive Mothra, who connects with Jia telepathically. Mothra seals the portals and warns them of the impending threat. Scar King reaches the portal with Shimo and freezes the magical stones that control it, preventing the portals from closing. At the same time, Trapper uses a ship to bring several Titans to fight Scar King's army. A massive battle ensues as the Titans clash with Scar King's forces. Meanwhile, Godzilla and Kong emerge from the portal, ready for the ultimate showdown. In the climactic battle, Kong, Godzilla, Scar King, and Shimo collide in an epic fight. Kong, using his prosthetic arm, overpowers Scar King. Shimo freezes Godzilla momentarily, but Mothra frees him. Zuko also joins the fight, helping Kong regain his axe. Gravity shifts during the battle, pulling all the Titans back to Earth through the portal. Scar King's army begins to lose as Kong and Godzilla gain the upper hand. In Rio de Janeiro, Scar King uses Shimo's ice breath to freeze the sky. Godzilla and Kong arrive to stop him. Kong breaks one of Scar King's teeth and mocks him, but Scar King and Shimo attack Kong together, overwhelming him. Godzilla, using his powers, destroys the crystal on Scar King's belt, freeing Shimo from his control. Zuko arrives with Kong's axe and destroys the crystal completely. Now free, Shimo turns on Scar King, freezing him with his ice powers. Kong, seeing that Scar King is still alive, smashes him into the ground, shattering him into pieces. Godzilla uses his pink energy blast to clear the frozen skies. Jia and Mothra meet with everyone in the temple, and Jia says farewell to her tribe. Dr. Eileen encourages Jia to stay with her people, but Jia insists on remaining with Dr. Eileen. Mothra seals the invisible portal, and Godzilla returns to his Colosseum to rest. With Scar King defeated, Kong frees the enslaved apes and becomes their new ruler, earning the title of the King of the Empire. And with this, the movie and the story come to an end. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more exciting content.